Greetings everyone and welcome to the overview of week 13 for our online college writing class. First, there is an assignment for our Zoom class on Monday. This is a final copy of a student paper. I think you've read the student's work before. You'll probably recognize the tone of the author and you'll feel like, oh yeah, I have read this student's work before. I want you to read his final copy of his justice paper. It's a little unconventional, but I think that's important for you to see right now. We're going to talk about this in class on Monday. So please make sure you read it. It would be even better if you printed it and annotated it and made sure you had some thinking down so you're prepared for class. That's always a good idea, but we will talk about this in our Zoom class. Okay, this week we're going to wrap up Serial. You have Serial episodes 11 and 12. To do this week, there is one discussion board for both episodes, and then there's your final quest is due this week. Don't forget what you're doing with that. Remember, we're trying to figure out if Adnan is guilty or innocent, and so it's important that you have a good question that really leads us to make one of those conclusions. This is the last chance for you to do some research, and so look up something good. Can come from any of the episodes since episode 9. So anything you want to look up that will help you determine Adnan's guilt or innocence. Remember, you are not looking for other people's opinions on his guilt or innocence. You are looking for information that will help. Okay? So, final quest, post a discussion board. Don't forget you're reading your group mates' quest because all of this research is going to help us when we start our next unit, which is actually we're starting next week. Okay, so then the justice paper, draft 3, you have 2 jobs, both due on, well, first, let's talk about what's due Wednesday. You've got draft 3 with a cover letter. That should come as no surprise. You're going to post that to the assignment folder. That's for me. And then you're also going to post it to your justice group discussion board. These are the same people that you presented your text to a few weeks ago, and so you'll recognize the people in your group. So you have to post your paper in both places on Wednesday. On Friday, you are going to print, read, and annotate your group mates' papers, complete a journey map for each paper, and then upload your annotations and your journey map to their discussion board so they get all of the feedback by Friday at 11:30 p.m. So you are reading all of your group mates' papers, and you are annotating them, giving them thoughtful suggestions, and then mapping out their journey. It's important to map out the journey so that your peers can know that their paper, that someone could follow the journey that they set out for their reader. And so if your journey that you see their paper follow is different from what they intended, that's great information. And then all of the annotations should go beyond editing. You should be able to provide thoughtful revision help, and we'll talk more about that on Monday in our Zoom class. Okay, the other thing that you can work on this week is you want to begin your works cited page and your metacognitive letter. Both of these are due with your final copy of your justice paper, which is due Tuesday of next week. And so it's important to get these things started. There are directions in that folder. It's called Getting Started on the Works Cited page. The directions for your metacognitive letter are there too. You should be getting started on that. You have most of the research, most of it most of them are just copy-paste, and you'll only be adding the resources that you use that you came up in your open research. Those are the ones you'll do on your own, and you'll insert them in. Do a good job on this. You don't want to lose credit for messing up your works cited page. Make sure you use the Purdue OWL. Don't use anything else. Make sure you're doing it correctly. Make sure it's in alphabetical order. Make sure you have a hanging indent. If you have any questions about how to do that, go to the Writing Center or come see me in office hours. Okay, have a great week. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday in Zoom class where we'll do some sentence carpentry. We'll also talk about that final student paper, and we'll go over what's expected in your conferences with your peer editing a little bit more. And get ready to turn in our final copy. So have a great weekend. Come Monday with questions.